What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another show, Jim with J Money. It's Friday, man. It's payday. We're trying to get to some cash. I'm J Money. That's my guy Jordan Sharp, and that's my guy Junior Brown. Today we're gonna recap the Lakers and Nuggets game, game four last night, and we're gonna get to this Boston Celtics and Miami Heat game five tonight, man. Before we do that, if you guys can hit the like button and subscribe. If you like the content, go to SBR Picks / NBA to check out all the articles that we have over there. All three of us have NBA write-ups over there. My guys also got, I think you guys got some NFL write-ups as well. Jordan, what's up, bro? Everything good with you?
Yeah, good night. Last night didn't bet on the men's side of thing. Made a little money on the women's side of things, and that Seattle Storm win. So felt pretty good on that one. And as far as the Lakers go last night, we talked about it 2 days ago. You get embarrassed by Nuggets outshoot you at the free throw line. They out rebound you by 19. What happens? They come back. They put one of the best rebounders on their team in the starting lineup, and Dwight Howard, who's multiple-time defensive player of the year. They double up them on offensive rebounds. They beat them. They get those calls. And I'm sure Jay's going to be talking about here in just a minute. And they outshoot him at the free throw line. And lo and behold, that's enough. That's enough for the Lakers to get a win in that one. It was good to see, I think, from people who are obviously betting on the Lakers standpoint, because even though it was just a push, for most people, still I think the Nuggets lost that game. I mean, they had chances. You can't just let the Lakers go crazy on the offensive boards and expect to win a game like that. And then also, it's what I think I'm paraphrasing here, but I believe Junior Brown said just yesterday that defense, or that rebounding is the last vestige of defense on that possession, and that is exactly the story of that Lakers and Nuggets game. You got to rebound, you got to close out. You cannot be letting Rajon Rondo grab big offensive rebounds late in the game to give them extra possessions in a 2-possession game. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to get wins in the Western Conference Finals that way. But congrats to the Lakers. We'll see if they can close things out. But today we got another game to talk about, too, which I'm very interested to see what you guys have to say about that, especially JB, who made some bold proclamations about if the Heat won that game five, who'd he be on in this one. So how about you, Junior? How'd you end up yesterday?
I lost my official play, so I'm not happy about that. It's my first two-day losing streak, I think, since the playoffs started, but it wasn't a total loss because I tailed my guy Jay Money's first quarter play because it just made sense to me when he made his argument. So thank you, Jay, for helping me save a little bit of cheddar. Other than that, great basketball game, but like you already mentioned, the Lakers out rebounded on the offensive rebounds. They out rebounded the Nuggets 12-6. That's 6 extra possessions for the Lakers. Already, that's losing basketball. That you could basically consider that almost like a turnover, right? Because turnovers are extra possessions. You just gotta rebound. Like Jordan mentioned, rebounding is the last act of defense. So once the Lakers got serious on the glass, it was going to be a totally different story. LeBron came out aggressive like we expected. And realistically, I definitely do, like Jordan said, want to hear what Jay has to say, because you heard what Mike Malone had to say about I need to go talk to these refs like the Lakers did and get me some extra calls out here. Because listen, Jamal Murray, I on my Twitter account, I reposted that where LeBron fouled the shit out of him. And anyways, I don't want to get into all that. Lakers won like kind of expected them to. Obviously, I covered the plus 10.5, but because of another ridiculous, almost 70-point quarter, this time in the first quarter, I wasn't able to win that teaser. I'm going to retire the teasers from now and just get back to straight bets. But ready to hear what you guys got to say about today. What's up, Jay? Let us know.
Yeah, no, we're going to get to that game. I had to talk about yesterday's game, man, because I watched it a few times, watched it really in depth. And honestly, I'm scared what I'm seeing from the Lakers, being perfectly honest with you guys. As good as they played, as good. I mean, Anthony Davis played a good game. It's still like midway through the third quarter, he only had 2 rebounds there, but he ended up still getting some pretty important ones there late in the fourth quarter. But still, it was another game where he threw out the first half, and I still think he didn't have any rebounds in the whole first half. But LeBron came out loud, assertive, almost had a triple-double once again. Like I say, they needed a couple of big shots. It was like 5 straight possessions in the fourth quarter there where Rondo, he really put his imprint on the game there. His taper fade is looking pretty bad there, but we ain't going to get on all that. But the Lakers, even winning that game by 6 yesterday, their offense doesn't look good, man. And I cannot stand watching LeBron James hold the ball and then take that terrible shot, man. I saw this guy scoot right inside the three-point line and take the worst shot in basketball, man. Like, why would you take that long too, bro? And then when you miss it, it turns it into a worse shot, bro. What's up, Junior? I know you know as a coach, that is a terrible shot, bro. The Lakers are not winning the championship if their offense does not get better. Their offense is super stagnant right now, man.
I just want to say that everyone that watches the show on a regular basis knows that we've been talking about exactly that. I said that yesterday, that LeBron just holds the ball much longer. Like, he always holds the ball, but now that he's older, he holds it an extra second longer. That forces him to take these ridiculous shots that he just never would have taken before. He just takes – it's weird to even say LeBron takes low percentage shots, but it only happens because of how long he holds the ball sometimes. And like you just said, it makes their offense stagnant. Sorry to interrupt you, bro. Go ahead.
No, that's all I wanted to say, man. Obviously, I did catch the Lakers first quarter and first half. I had some on the full game as well. Ended up pushing everyone on the 6. I told you guys on the show I was going trifecta, man. Lakers had to come out hot. They covered the first quarter with ease. The first half actually could have been screwed off if Millsap would have hit their last 3, but they end up winning the first half by 5. But I can't say that first half probably shouldn't have hit. The Nuggets had a couple of chances there to come back and cover that first half. So it's pretty tough. You had Nuggets first half, but cash with the Lakers first quarter, first half, full game, get a push, man. I can't wait for this game 5, bro, because I do want to say something about the LeBron did foul Murray there, and it's tough because they're not gonna give the call against him right there. It was late in the game. It was a huge play, but the Lakers, if they're gonna do all that, saying they got to go through the right channels to get the calls, Jordan. Then the Nuggets, I just feel like I'm one for a fair game, man. That's why I'm just a fair game type of person, man, with everything in any aspect of life. Even though I was on the Lakers, I said, come on, bro. You can't just blatantly foul the guy. Everybody saw that shit, man. You got to at least you can't make it fishy, Jordan. But what you think, the Nuggets might get a few extra calls here after the league, the officiating is taking plenty of calls after those late calls. What you think about that, Jordan? Denver, like you say, Mike Malone might have to make some calls now.
If I'm Mike Malone, the first thing I would say to my team last night once we got in the locker room is we only lost by 6 points despite the refs, despite the free throw discrepancy, despite getting out rebounded. We forced LeBron to make some really bad shots. I'm looking at a shot chart right now. Dude was 0 for 7 in mid-range jump shots last night. It's probably time for LeBron James to either settle for the 3 or get to the rim when he drives the basket. Like that is an easy call right there. But if I'm Mike Malone, I'm saying, look, guys, we had every chance to win that game. A few things didn't go our way. It's right back to it here. They've played I think the best out of the last 2 games. The Nuggets have been the better team. I think last night was just a matter of the last 6 minutes of that game. They ran out of gas. They couldn't rebound the ball anymore. But you look at still in their offense, like the Lakers have had trouble guarding that pick and roll, that high pick and roll with Jokic and Murray. I don't think that's going to change next game. Like, it's just they're, like Jay said, I'm not quite ready to say, oh, the Lakers are in trouble. The Lakers shouldn't be favored to win a championship, but there are some really glaring holes and some things that have been, I think, exposed, at least in this series, particularly, that if the Lakers do go on and win and play Miami, which I think all 3 of us agree that's going to end up happening, Miami is going to be able to exploit some of those things more than Denver has, I think. They just have a little bit more of a versatile roster, especially defensively. So, I think the Nuggets. I don't want to preview too much of tomorrow because we have a whole game today. But the 6 points with the Nuggets here. It's like I think what we're going to say with the Celtics tonight. Like down 3-1. You better get their best game, just like they came out down 0-2 and had their best game so far. I could really see the Nuggets kind of making some course corrections and figuring some things out, especially on the glass. They fixed the glass and things like that. And not letting them get a whole bunch of second chance points. That's the game right there. They would have won. So I'm real interested to see where this line movement goes for tomorrow. But yeah, I think the calls. Look, Jamal Murray, I've said he's a superstar. He's not going to get the superstar calls. LeBron James has been doing this for his entire career. He gets the calls, and the rest tend to not put calls against him because they want LeBron James in the game. It's as simple as that. It's been that way literally since the guy was 18 years old in his rookie year. The league wants LeBron James in the game. They do not want LeBron James on the bench in foul trouble. They're not going to put calls against him. They're going to put him on the free throw line more often than not to, and give him the benefit of the doubt on that end.
Exactly. Yeah, and Jokic had 5 fouls as well. And a few of those fouls, like I say, man, I'm a realist, man. I don't care if I had the Lakers or not. But one of that late foul, that fifth foul on Jokic, that shit wasn't a foul, bro. I'll tell you that right now. That was not a foul, and they could have easily called it on somebody else, but they know Jokic's going to have to gain it. I don't know. We get too far off, man, but we're going to talk about that game tomorrow for damn sure. Game 5, Lakers versus Denver. But today, we got a Game 5, Celtics versus the Heat. And the Celtics possibly looking like they, you know what I'm saying, could be ready to go to the house, man. It's interesting to see that the line is still to say, pretty fishy in my opinion, man. This line opened up at 2.5, went up to 3, so it did come back down. At least we saw some movement. It was up to 3.5, man. It's just suspenseful to me, Junior. All day yesterday it was at 3.5, back down to 3 this morning, still 3.5 at Bet Online. We hadn't seen any type of adjustment here, Junior. I'll be honest, there's still some value here on the Heat, especially the way they've been playing. I don't think the Celtics are out of it yet, but I'm not laying at 3 points with them, Junior. What you think about this game and why the line hasn't moved?
I have no idea, but I got it. I'm on Heat plus 3.5. How am I laying points with the team that has one win in 4 games? Not only the fact that they have one win in 4 games, it's the fact that they've actually been able to take a big lead several times, and the Heat have been able to come up with answers. Now, the Heat had one bad game in Game 3, but that's only the second game they've lost all playoffs. So the Heat are just the team that's playing better basketball at the moment. The Celtics are the team that technically has the higher ceiling, but just me personally, I'm not discrediting the Celtics. I think the Celtics could possibly win a close game, but I'm taking points with the team that's just playing better basketball, in my personal opinion. That because going into the series, all 3 of us can agree, right, that on paper, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Kemba, it's going to be difficult for these guys to stop because all 3 of them can score 20 at any point. Well, right now, you could lock in Butler and Dragic for 20 a game at least right now, right? If Tyler Hero, I'm not going to go out and say, oh, Tyler Hero is going to come back and drop 30 again because that's just not realistic. He's a 20-year-old kid, but he's playing consistent basketball. He scored double digits in every single playoff game so far. The Heat have got a lot of contributors to their team, plus the ace in the hole that they have, that zone defense that they'll just break out. And that's why they keep coming back from these big deficits, because they don't do it the whole game. But with certain lineups and certain situations, they'll just break out the zone, and then the Celtics just start playing one-on-one basketball. Jason Tatum's a great player, but when they go into that zone, his shot selection isn't really the best. You know what I'm saying? Marcus Smart's shot selection in the last game, Marcus Smart was 1 for 8 from 3 in the last game. Marcus Smart, how about you just don't take 8 threes? How about you just settle down? And you know what I'm saying? But just do something else. Like, they're baiting you into taking that shot, bro. Like, yeah, he was hot against the Raptors, but Jay, we just know how basketball works, bro. Those things are going to even itself out. You know what I'm saying? Like, Marcus Smart's not going to continue to shoot 40-something% from 3 throughout the whole playoffs. So in a sense, Miami's playing the numbers, and before I go on a rant, Jay and Jordan, do you guys think that Miami locked up Tatum in the first half of the last game, or Tatum just disappeared?
It did the latter.
It wasn't Miami.
The latter, for sure.
Miami.
He just disappeared, right? Like, he looked like he was injured. Like, is there something wrong with Jason Tatum? I don't know what's going on. So my point is, before I go on too long, how am I laying points with a team that has so many question marks? I need certainty. If I'm laying points with you, I got to be sure that you're going to win the game. You know what I'm saying? So just from my perspective, I have to take the points with the better team. That's right now.
What you got, Jordan?
I was just going to add that, it's Tatum. I don't know what was wrong with him, but for some reason, especially when they went zone, he just looks timid. Like, he doesn't know. It's like he doesn't know what to do. And that's crazy to me from a guy who's dominated so much this year. And then they throw a zone defense at you with the smaller guys out on, and in the paint. Like, just go at him. Like, get fouled, or you're gonna miss a layup. Like, don't stop. Like LeBron yesterday. Like, stop settling for mid-range jumpers that are contested. That's probably the first step for him. Secondly, I mean, like Boston kind of had a similar probably reaction to losing that game as the Nuggets did, because like Boston could say, hey, we outshot them. We outshot them from deep. We just had like 20 turnovers. Like you can't expect the three of your starters to have 14 out of your 19 turnovers and to win that game. I mean, taking care of the ball. Yeah, the Heat's defense definitely forced some of those turnovers. I don't want to put it all on Boston being careless here, but that's got to be cleaned up because it's just like the offensive rebounds the last game. You can't go minus 11 in turnovers and expect to win a close playoff game. So I mean, there's a couple of things that I think Tatum, for whatever's bothering him, whether it's an injury or the zone defense or both, that has to continue. That has to correct itself for this one. Marcus Smart's shot selection is another thing too. But I mean, the bottom line is here: you can't turn the ball over as much as you did last game and expect to win this game. And on top of that, I mean, even if Tyler Hero has 20 points in this game, I don't think you can expect to win either. Like you've got to figure out which guys on the Heat you're going to stop and which guys you're going to let kill you. And I think it's a pick your poison type thing with this Heat. Because this Heat team, we've talked about it all year with them. They have like 6 or 7 guys that can go off for 20 points in any given night, and that's what makes them so enticing and has gotten them to this point. The Celtics are good enough defensively where they have to say like, hey, we can't let Dragic and Hero beat us. If Jimmy Butler beats us, if Bam beats us because we're a smaller team, that's fine. But we cannot let Tyler Hero drop 37 points and hit 5 threes and turn the ball over 19 times and expect to win the game. I mean, that one of those things is not going to happen tonight. So I mean, I think Boston, at least early, has some appeal in this game, but in no way, shape, or form am I laying points with this team with what we've seen over the last 2 from them, or the 2 of the last 3 for them, I should say, because they did play well in the game 4. But I'm finding it very hard to even lay the points with Celtics in the first half here because the line's almost the same. Jay and I were talking about this before the show. The first half line is basically the same as the full game line right now.
It's stupid.
I mean, which is I mean, just to prove the point of how good the Miami Heat have been in second halves this year, but also I think a little bit of just giving the Celtics a little bit of credit, but not enough. I think the books are saying like, hey, we'll give them a little bit of credit, but we don't think they're going to win the game. Even though we'd have moved the line a half point, like Jay said, it's been bouncing around. So I don't have a play on this game. I'll lean Celtics early, but I don't think I'm getting there today. That's for sure. I cannot put my trust in this team with Miami being as good as they are right now and is looking as good as they are.
Yeah, you can't count them out just yet, man. That's one thing I can say. I mean, we can't pencil the Heat into the finals already. They are up 3-1. They've never lost a playoff series when they were up 3-1. I do think they'll get it done, but I'm not counting the Celtics out yet. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see if they did win today. They know it's not over. They got any fight left in them, any pride. They definitely going to come out here in this first quarter, you know what I'm saying, with a sense of urgency, with aggressiveness, focus, all that. Even if they don't win the game, I could cash my first quarter and be finished with it. So I like the Celtics here early. I got them -1 last night. It's up to 1.5 now. I still like them to be up about 2-3 points here, possibly 4 or 5 points at the end of this first quarter, man. They got to come out with a sense of urgency. Like I say, playing defense, focus. It's not over. If you win the next 2 games, it's a game 7. It's a whole new ball game. Like I say, I mean, that Heat full game plus 3.5, it does look very appealing to me. I'm off the full game. I'm definitely not laying that 3.5 with the Celtics the way that they've lost least. They could be up 15 at the end of the third quarter, and I still be like, damn, I don't know if I feel comfortable with this. So I hate that feeling standing far away from the full game. But Boston early and often, you damn right. I like it. I mean, if they come out and lose the first quarter, like, I mean, y'all know me, man. Live bet the Heat. It's pretty much that simple, man. The Celtics cannot play coming from behind this game. Jason Tatum will not come out bullshitting like he did in that last first half. And it's very interesting to see that when he has 0 points, I'm watching the game and they still only down 2 points. How the hell do the Celtics stay in that game and only down 2 when your best player is having the worst game of the playoffs so far, 0 points, and they were down 2 points right in the thick of it. So yeah, Boston first quarter, first half, I absolutely love that shit, and we finna cover this shit. I don't know about the full game, but the Celtics not done yet, and I love how everybody pretty much ridden them off. If they ready to go home and got their bags packed already, then yeah, I mean, they could get blown out here, but I don't think the Celtics ready to go home. They know that they've seen a team come back from 2-3-1 deficits already this year. Anything can happen in the bubble. Heat are a better team together, but I mean, like I say, I think that the Celtics gonna have some fight with them tonight. Obviously, yeah, I don't think Hero's going for 37 again. I mean, he could probably go for 25 or something tonight, but I don't think 37. They'll flagrant foul his ass tonight before somebody will get thrown out the game before that happens tonight. Them boys, they're coming tonight. So whether they win or not, I like the Celtics early, and that's my play on it, man. Celtics first quarter. I'll make it official at the 1.5, even though I took the minus 120 last night. What you think about that, Junior?
You're almost talking me into another first quarter bet. I might tell you on that
I'm
one.
on that shit.
It's the only reason I'm not doing it is because I don't want to be, have both sides of the same game, even though it wouldn't be the first time I've done it. I'm gonna look into it a little bit more because I got to look at the first quarter numbers for both teams before I can say yes or no. But the price is nice. -1, you said 1.5.
Yeah, it's 1.5, and the Celtics have won 3 of the first 4. The only first quarter that the Heat have won was in the last game. So the first quarters, the Celtics came out and covered it. I mean, like I said, they 3-1 to the first quarter, man. So I mean, I like the way they've been coming out here. I mean, they've been coming out early. This game, they have the motivation. You got to come out early and smack them boys in the mouth to build your confidence for the rest of the game. Like y'all know me, man. If the Celtics don't come out here in this first quarter, it's not gonna be looking pretty for them in the full game. So keep that in mind for a live bet. But I've got my money on the Celtics first quarter, and I don't put my money on shit unless I'm surprised if I lose. So I mean, anything can happen. Nothing's guaranteed. But I got my cheddar down on it. I like it at 1.5. I like for them to be up by 2 at the end of the what's called. What'd you think about that, Jordan? Don't be scared, man. Don't ride with me one time.
I might. You're convincing me too. I was just looking up the numbers for the playoffs. 15 games for the Boston Celtics. They're +14 in net rating in the first quarter, while the Heat are almost -10. And that's a Heat team that's only lost 2 games, and you're -10 net rating out of 100 per 100 possessions in the first quarter. That definitely makes that 1.5 intriguing on Boston. I think I was gonna say when I came into the show, if I had a free play, I'd take the points of the Heat. I might have to make that an actual play on the Boston first quarter here, because I had them first half in the last game, and that burned me just because it was basically just Tatum. The only reason I think I lost whoever was on the first half of Boston in Game 4 probably lost because of Jason Tatum. I could sincerely doubt he comes out with a lack of aggression or whatever. If it's an injury, it's another thing that we could find out when this series is over. That Jason Tatum's playing through something for the last 5 games. You don't know. That happens all the time in this league. But I mean, the numbers say bet Boston early for sure, and there's a reason why I think that first half and that full game line are the same. It's because I think the books recognize that as well. So I mean, 1.5 doesn't seem that bad right now. I might have to ride with you on that. I mean, Junior did it yesterday. You convinced him yesterday. It might be me you're convinced it today.
I like it, Junior. Come on, man. Nah, but Junior, you have to admit that. I mean, and you both of you guys know this, that both at the Celtics, I mean, we've seen it before. Celtics be up by 12 and Pistons. It happened in Game 2. So, I mean, Game 1 and Game 2 pretty much. But the Celtics can literally, in all seriousness, they could come out here and win the first quarter and first half and cash them with ease and still lose the game. I mean, it's because you got first quarter, first half. I mean, it's a lot that can happen in the third quarter and fourth quarter. So, I mean, unless I really see something nice, I kind of stay off them second half bets and stuff, kind of just stay off to what I like before the game. But this is one where the derivatives are better than the full game to me, where I'm staying clear, especially when it was at 3.5. There's no way in hell that I was taking the Celtics today -3.5, even though I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win the game, but I'm not taking that 3.5. Not with my money. It's not smart.
I just logged on to, I got a couple different accounts. I'm going to switch accounts in a second. I just logged on to my Bet Online account, though. That -1.5 is at -145.
Oof.
That's the first quarter?
No. Never in life, sir. Just so you know. Never in life will I pay -145, but
on a first quarter line, that's ridiculous. You got to be able to find better odds than that right now.
Even Bovada got -120. That means it's finna go to 2 though. That's all they're saying. That it's finna go to.
Or maybe that's just
66
for me.
Slammy, my guy.
Hey.
I appreciate you, but I think you sent $10 to I think you sent $10 to SBR,
boys
my guy.
Trying to get me, bro.
Now somebody else had sent some money earlier too, man. I thought I tripped out. Man. We appreciate it, but keep your money, man. Some Bryce shot to send $5, man. He said, "I can see your eyes through the shades, man." We appreciate y'all for tuning in the chat, man. We don't get as many people these days with only one game a day. And probably a lot of people seem like they didn't even just kind of stop messing with NBA ever since it's just one game, man. They go to NFL or whatever. But
season. Yeah, you know how that works.
The 300 we got in here, man. We appreciate y'all. Gerald Martinez said he got I have Boston first quarter -0.5, -125. So we different books they going, but I don't know how the hell you getting it, bro. I really don't.
I'm not getting it.
I'm talking about my guy in the chat, Gerald Martinez. He said he got Boston first quarter -0.5,
I'm still seeing I'd say one in my sports book. I might jump on that. I'm seeing just ones here. That's the same thing. Same thing that happened to me yesterday or 2 days ago, though, where I took Boston first half 1.5 when the line was at 2.5, and I still lost. So I mean, I'm getting value, but I might still not win. But I'm that's convincing me even more now that I'm staring at an even 1 point here at -113.
Man, I'd be surprised if they lost, if they didn't come out here hot.
I don't want to talk shit, but like my other at Bet365, it's -1.5, -110. See,
yeah, that's Bet365 though. I don't want to trash anybody on this show.
No. Listen, hey. We're not trashing anybody. We're not trashing anybody. We're just talking. These lines are available for anybody to see anywhere.
Your lines.
Yeah,
exactly. Hey, I mean, I'm looking at the SBR. I'm looking at the odds. What's called a screen right now. I'll be really watching it all day, man. I'm really watching some shit for tomorrow because I think that this spread might move down to 5.5. But I just be watching lines all day, man. Seeing how certain books have them juiced or whatever. Because really, if you look at the juice, you'll see which way the line is going, man. I mean, it's not hard really, but after a while, you know what I'm saying. After doing this for so many years, I know I've been betting for a little over 10 years, for a little under 10 years now. So after a while, you know what I'm saying, know the little ins and outs, know what you need to do for the long term to make money, man. And if they're like, say if you are betting the Heat tonight, and say if there's a 3 at one book and it's a 3.5 at the other one, why not take the 3.5, bro? It's just making me more comfortable. It makes me feel like I'm winning before the bet even started. In fact, I'm getting a better line. I don't know about y'all, Jordan. What you think about that? But it's definitely all about getting the best line for sure.
Well, and you talk about, I think Jay speaks about this almost every other show, and that's something that I think a lot of people don't understand is that if you look at the steam 10, 15, 20 minutes before that game starts, it's almost always sharp action moving that line right before the game starts because I think, and Jay preaches this almost every show. I feel like it's like the sharp bettors usually either hit the line right when it opens or right before it's about to close. And it's usually right before it's about to close, especially with playoff games like this where we're waiting on kind of where the steam's going and information, whether there's an injury or whatnot, like there was last night in the W, like last night, just, I mean, like not to use this as an example, but I mean, like Alyssa Thomas got ruled in. That line just like got hammered on the Sun. They ended up winning that game. The same, not going to get a similar instance on this game because there's no big injuries, but still like that, the difference between 3.5 and 3 is almost certainly going to be the difference between winning and losing your bet in this game because it's going to be close, I think. And if you're getting 3.5 at reasonable odds, like say -115 versus 3 at -110, spend the extra 5 cents. Like get that 3.5, avoid pushes. You're going to be a lot happier in the long run. I think people really don't. I think especially novice bettors really don't. I think they underestimate what a half point can do for you. You know what I mean? Like people like us buy it. Well, yeah, no, I mean exactly. It's gonna kill you or win money for you. But it's still
look at
like
your spreadsheet.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, it's ridiculous.
Hey, and when you lose by that half, I guarantee you, bro, you will look at that shit for the rest of your life different after you lose by 0.5 point, man. I'm telling you, man. But Jordan, I want to ask you about this total, man. 213.5, 213. What you think, man? In my opinion, I think the Celtics got to lock down. We know this. They got to lock. I mean, you got to bring lockdown defense if you want to win. We know the Heat playing lockdown D. I think Celtics kind of correlate with under. If you like the Heat there, I think it's going to correlate. The Heat going to close it out, and then, you know what I'm saying, they end up getting the win. Celtics possibly stop playing as much defense, start ready to go home. It's either Heat. If you like the Heat, you like the over. If you like the Celtics, you like the under, in my opinion. Jordan, what you think about that?
I think the steam's definitely been catching the under right now, especially early in the game. I think you're exactly right. And this is a weird one too, where it's usually I think the favorites are correlated with the over, and I think you're exactly right. I think it's the exact opposite in this one, especially early. See the first quarter line tick down 0.5 point. The first quarter line is ticked down a half point. The first half line is down almost 2 full points from where it opened. Penny's has it at 107.5 too. I mean, that right there is indication enough that I think that whoever comes down and early enough and plays defense in this game is going to win. So I mean, if I had to lean on the total, would certainly be on the under. We saw this last game here, they only scored like 43, 44 points in the first quarter. It was that last game that was real sloppy. I don't expect we see a sloppy half like we did in game 4. But I do think you're right. If the Celtics are going to cover this first quarter, first half line or lines, they have to lock down on defense. They have to pick, like I said earlier, they got to pick 1 or 2 Heat players and say, you're not going to beat us tonight. We're going to force Jay Crowder to beat us. We're not going to let Jimmy Butler beat us. It's just like you have to pick your poison with this Heat team, and I think the Celtics are hopefully going to realize that tonight. I think the matchups for the Celtics, this has been tougher for them because the Heat are a bigger team, a better rebounding team, a little bit longer team. But they have to come out and lock down initially. But yeah, I'd say to answer your question, I agree with this team. I think the under is definitely the play. In a closed-out game like this, you tend to see the best effort defensively from both teams, especially the team that's down.
Exactly. Junior, what you think? Man, I hope so. What you think, Junior, about this total? What's your lean on this, my guy? If you had a teaser, which way would you be teasing?
A couple different things. Somebody in the chat keeps asking me to give my total. I've lost 2 totals in a row. I'm not betting another total. Okay?
I feel you on that, bro.
I need
Can't
to chill.
Force it.
I need to chill. I'm a chill. No total for me.
He said, you know what? I'm just chilling on that, man.
Yeah, I got plus 3.5 Heat. That's enough.
Gotcha. If I had a free play on the total, guys, I think I would be looking at the first half under 108, man. And I'm with my guy. And Penny is that's the sharpest book. That's the book that I have up. That's my main book. Every other, even though I don't bet there, that book is a leading indicator. And I got that from my guy Teddy. Teddy been doing this shit way longer than me, man. So I got to listen to Pinnacle.
Penny, if you chase steam from pennies, you're either going to make money or get banned. So yeah, that's a pretty good idea is to watch pennies lines for sure. Because other than like Chris in the NFL and a few other like shops with like the smaller sports, like absolute pennies is the sharpest.
Exactly. That's what I keep mine on, man. So y'all learning new info today. I got it from Teddy. I'm passing it on to y'all, man. And ever since it's been happening, it's been working out well for me. Penny got that first quarter, that first half at 107.5. Everybody else got it at 108, man. So, I mean, I feel like that's a prime freaking example right there. And you see Heritage with the 108 under slash to the 115, meaning it's headed towards the under 10. It's headed to 107.5. So, I mean, we're trying to teach you guys how to bet. It kind of go. That's even bigger than the actual bets. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really do feel like that's bigger than the actual bet because that's something that you guys can take long term, man. So we want to give you guys betting tips on the show, not only picks as well. I'm on my official play for the show and the article as well, Boston first quarter. I love the shit. Jordan, what's your official play today, my guy?
Got nothing official today. Definitely lean towards the Heat taking points. I may end up jumping on that first quarter there. I'm just continuing to stare at that 1 while everybody else is at 1.5 and thinking I'm getting a pretty good bargain here. So I may ride with you on that one too. That'd be my only official today. I think. I agree with you. I think that correlates with the under too in the first quarter. I'd say if there's 2 leans that I got that are the best, it'd be Celtics first quarter or the under in that one. I think you're exactly right on those.
We've been paying the rent off these first quarters, Junior. What's up, my guy? What's your official play?
It's funny that you say that because we have been hitting a lot of these first quarters. I'm probably going to ride with you on that -1.5, especially at the price that I'm seeing it right now. The narrative just makes the most sense. They've already won most of the first quarters in the series, and they're the team that's coming out with desperation. And you kind of have to expect that Jason Tatum's going to want to make up for. Like, it's one thing to have a bad first quarter. It's another thing when you're a star and you score 0 points in a half of a playoff game, so that you end up losing.
And then 28 in the other half, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that being said, I might tell you on that, but my official play is just I got to take the points with the Heat plus 3.5. I think it'll be a close game. The Celtics might even win a close game, but I feel more comfortable taking points with the Heat than I definitely do laying points with the Celtics. That's not happening.
And it's crazy because I like the Celtics, but I could not talk anybody out of that, especially if you got the 3.5. Junior definitely said something there. They can win and you still cover, bro. That's why I don't like the point spread. And And it's another reason why I kind of think this shit fishy, man. What the hell going on with this point spread, bro? The Heat have won 3 times. We saw versus the Bucks them kind of mess with the spread, even without the Giannis situation. But I don't know, man. This shit it's pretty crazy. Be interesting to see what happens tonight, man. Really will. I'm definitely gonna be watching this game closely. And, I mean, I know, like I say, we might have a game. We might have a game 6, man. We might have a game 6. We'll definitely be interested to see. We'll be back tomorrow. Me and Jordan and me and Junior and Teddy tomorrow, man, to break down the Nuggets and Lakers game. Y'all hit the like button if you can. We only had 300 people in here watch today live, but if y'all can hit the like button, even if you're going back and watch it, man, it'll go a long way. Hit the like button, subscribe, share the show. You know what I'm saying? We might even start giving out a little NFL. We might give out some NFL picks tomorrow, man. Y'all coming. Well, watch the show tomorrow. We appreciate y'all for jamming with J Money, man.